Hello and welcome to the RPG Academy the RPG Academy Twitch stream, also the YouTube page and podcast stuff. I'm Michael, and I'm once again going to be playing some Final Fantasy this morning. So where we left off, just doing. Whoops, that's really weird. Did I forget to save something? Wow. Okay. Well, this is unfortunate. So I lost 3 levels worth of stuff. Boo. Boo, I say. Uh, hmm. But, there's nothing to it but to do it, I guess. I have no idea how that happened. I guess that's one of the downfalls of doing this on an emulator, that stuff like that can happen. I'm sure I did something wrong. Oh well, I was just going to grind some levels today anyway, so I guess I'm just going to grind the same ones I already grinded. Dun, 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 dun. So, if anybody's watching for the first time, just again playing through the original Final Fantasy just for kicks and giggles. Mostly, this is just an excuse to hang out and chat with anybody who's interested. Primarily, this is a role playing game channel. We do a lot of gaming stuff. So, if you want to talk about that, or movies, or TV, whatever, comic books, I'll do my best to keep up. Can't promise I will add any uh, insight to anything. I'm happy to talk about things if I can. Excuse me. So what I'm doing at the moment is it's a kind of an exploit that I found. At least that's what I'm calling it. Back when I played this game as a kid, all those years and years ago, that in this area, if you go up to that very top peninsula where I just was, like the top 4 squares, if you just walk around in circles there, you fight things that you really have no business fighting at this level. And some of them are really susceptible to fire and harm, particularly the Zombuls. So if you walk around and you get lucky, it's possible to get into a fight that's way above your pay grade, but is manageable with a little bit of luck and the right spells, and it allows you to gain experience and gold really fast. So that's what I'm trying to do, and what I actually had done. I still don't exactly know what happened. I was at a level 11 when I quit yesterday, so I basically lost yesterday's uh, efforts. Do not know what happened. I'm sure it's my fault, but still frustrating. All right. So I'm just going to head to the town, save it this time, hopefully, and then just kind of rinse and repeat until I get enough gold to make it worthwhile to go down and upgrade all my equipment and buy some new spells. Yeah, so these fights, I don't know. It's not really worth the effort and the potential resource loss if I get into a prolonged battle. So if I can run, I just will. Should be able to take out one of these pretty quickly. Hopefully, anyways. This whole losing the levels has got me a little flustered. I should have bought items while I was in town too. So, all right, well, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Yeah, this one I don't want to deal with. Good job. All right, so we're going to use our cabin here. It gives me a save point, and then just walk around in these 4 squares and hope that we get 4 zombles. Okay, frost wolves, not good. So, yep, I'm going to have to do a reset. So that's the drawback to doing this, is that sometimes you get into fights that you can't win. Sometimes you can beat the frost wolves if you go first, if you get off some spells, or if they just see, this is like the worst case scenario. I probably cannot win this fight, and I'm going to burn through a lot of resources trying, but we'll try it. But if things start going poorly, I'm going to do the reset again. This is not going to go well. Plus, I should have another ice spell down there, which would help. Ugh. Yeah, so right off the bat, not looking good. So when this works, it works great. But yeah, this whole day starting off behind. I'll try one more cycle here, but I have a feeling that it's going to go poorly quickly. Yep, and Loki's dead. Alright, so I know this is making for some riveting streaming. Sorry. But again, the whole point of this is more to chat. So hopefully, if you are watching and you want to say hi and let me know you're there, happy to talk about whatever, role playing game stuff specifically, but not just that if that's not what you're interested in. So with 2 of them, I got a better shot of winning. It still could turn out poorly if they attack the wrong character at the wrong time, but I should be able to pull this one out. It's just using all my resources to do so. So, it would be better if I fought like zombies. Then I can split my spell use between Wanda and Loki. Well, good morning, the Foxblade. Don't know if you just jumped in, but bad news. Apparently, I didn't save something correctly, and everything I did yesterday was gone. So when I started up the emulator today, I was back where I started, so I lost everything from yesterday. Sad panda face for me. So we're having to redo what we did yesterday. But we'll get through it. There should be one of the levels. Yeah, that stinks. But again, there's nothing to it but to do it. So we'll get through. How are you this morning? So I'd be happy just to get out of this fight if I could. Oh, nice. I always like to hear when DMs are making characters with their players. I think that helps tremendously make sure everything starts off on the right foot and gets everybody on the same page. Oh. So how many players are in your game? Okay. So 5 is my max these days. When I was younger, I've had groups as big as like 7, but I just find that honestly 3 is my favorite. Uh, 4 works, but 5, I can't imagine running for more than 5 people anymore. I just maybe it's just my skill, but I don't seem to have a lot of fun running the game when there's more than 5. And as a player, I don't have as much fun playing when there's more than 5. So five's probably a good number. Hopefully, it's your friends. It makes sense. Hopefully, everybody gets a good share of the spotlight and they work off each other well. I've heard these stories of groups have like 14 players and their combats take 5 hours. And I just that doesn't sound fun to me. I mean, if that's what you're into, I guess sure. But yeah, that is not the experience I covet these days when I'm running games or playing games. One of the upgrades they made in the Final Fantasy that you play on the iPad is that you can just change the number. So if I want to buy 5/10, I can just tell it I want 5/10 rather than having to go through the menu 5 times, which is a very beneficial upgrade. I think that's a good one. All right, so I'm going to kind of do this half and half like I did yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and go to the Elf Town and get that sword and that spell just because I think that will help facilitate me getting those levels back quicker. So a little more time now, a little less time on the other side. True, that is the one thing about having 5 players is if you're going to play without everyone, then you're likely to be able to get enough people each time to play and you don't have to cancel, which is very frustrating. Uh, a lot of my gaming these days, particularly if it's like a campaign, is probably going to be done for the show. And so we don't record if not everyone's there. So that's just not an option for us. We just do something else, which is probably one of the reasons why all of our campaigns seem to crash and burn and die, and we never get through any of them, which is unfortunate. Do you do anything in particular if someone does miss? Do they go on some sort of side quest? Do they get pulled away magically, or do they just sort of fade into the background and then when they show up next week, they're just there again? Nice. All right, so I'm going to equip him with a silver sword, which is much better weapon, which will upgrade his attacks pretty significantly. And then, unfortunately, I only have enough for one more spell and not 2. But like I said, I think in the long run, this will speed up the process to get me back those levels. So I've done a few one-on-one sessions, but mostly I handle that through email or Twitter or that kind of thing. Twitter DMs, I mean, just so I don't actually role play as much as just like ask questions. The last time I can really remember doing that was during our first real actual play that we had on the show, which was Made Men, still one of my favorites. And Grexel, Nico's character, got separated, and they didn't know some information about him. He played like this big dumb brute, but he was actually like super smart, and he was like a double spy, double agent, I should say. And he got separated, and so we decided to play out where he actually went back to his base and got updated orders while they were separated. So we actually role played that out some, which was fun, but it's not something I want to do a lot. Though I did play in a one-on-one one-shot once, which was I played it and I didn't run it, but I thought that was fun. I had a good time with that. Yeah, the balance is obviously a problem. I don't do a lot of combat compared to a lot of DMs, but I just find the role play like one of my favorite things to do as a DM is just to sit back and listen to my players role play with each other, and not even it's not even like I have an NPC in the scene, just them talking to each other, back and forth about what's going on in character is just one of my favorite things to do. And then you miss that if it's just you. If you only have one player, so you're always playing your part too, which is fine. But it does cause me to miss again one of my favorite things about the game. So just it's just different. It's not bad. It's just different. Whew. So I'm in an unfinished basement. I'm sure that's hard to tell, but so it's really cold down here. Even though it's starting to warm up, it's going to get up in the 60s today. So I'm really hoping that just over the next few weeks it starts to warm up enough that maybe this place will get a little bit warmer. So it's just more manageable. I have a little space heater at my feet, but I try not to turn it on when I'm streaming or recording a show, just because you can kind of hear that hum. But I may have to in a minute because I'm getting cold. Excuse me. I always get tickle in my throat right when I'm recording and talking into a microphone. Whew. So are you playing any video games at the moment or any board games to mention in addition to your RPG? Aha, here we go. Just about perfect. I say that and I'm going to get slaughtered. But all these creatures are susceptible to fire, and 3 of them are also susceptible to harm. So those 2 spells combined should do a ton of damage. Fingers crossed that the order of initiative works out in my favor and they don't keep attacking. Nope. Okay. See, that's what I hate happens. There's like no reason for them to attack Wanda specifically there, but it just, the algorithm, that's what happens sometimes. So that was like a perfect encounter for me, and yet I had to bail on it. So here we go. Not quite as good, but certainly not bad. Same thing, though. It all comes down to initiative and who they decide to attack. All right. So any resources of interest you'd like to share or talk about? And it's totally cool for you to be like, no, like if you're, if you're doing other things and you're just sort of half paying attention, it will not bother me at all. If you're like, I've got other things to do. Nice. All right. So good. Solid. Solid. So I'm 1,800 away. So it's 3 or 4 fights. So this isn't really the fight I want because it's not, I don't think, worth the effort, but I'll try it. They decide to attack a Hulk again, then this one's all over. Yeah, you mentioned that one. So that is that a campaign book or just like reference material or like both? Because I, son of a gun, ugh, things are not going well for me today. Because my understanding is it was an actual or a AP like a adventure, which I mean that still obviously comes with a lot of source material. I was just curious if that's if it's divided that way. Gotcha. All right, that makes sense. All right, so now I'm fighting more giants. Fingers crossed, if they don't target my weaker characters directly, I should still be able to get through this. Oh, come on. Okay, why are they all attacking Hulk? I don't understand. I mean, there's always the magic portal in a dungeon, a doorway to who knows where. Not the most elegant, but works in a pinch. Or that could even be part of the adventures to figure out how they got there. And they just go to sleep one night, wake up the next day, and they're now in that place. What happened? How did we get here? And then it sort of becomes like the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, where maybe part of the adventure is how do we get home? Oh my gosh, this is getting funny. Hopefully, how awful this has been. All right, so this is a much more manageable fight. Knock on wood. That could work too. I mean, it could just be they shipwreck. They get lost in a storm, and when they are shipwrecked, now they're there again. Part of the don't know how we got there. Maybe it was like a magical storm of some sort. Um, they could be sinking, and then their ship just like goes through that portal, and then they're in a ship, but they're on the other world. I don't know, lots of ways. Though, I'm always one for giving characters agency too. Maybe there's something that has to be done in that other world, and so they choose to go there, and have a little bit more control over it. So 1,200. So once I get to 10th level, I'm gonna head back to Elftown, finish upgrading all my gear and stuff, and then try to get that last level back. So hopefully this will take them out. I got one. So I don't use D&D Beyond at all. Sort of. I got a free coupon to use part of it when I bought the Essentials kit, and so I've played around with it just a smidge, and it seemed cool, but I just really haven't dug into it enough to see the true benefits of it. So I haven't, went all in. I'm sure it's something I would find very handy if I did, but I'm also just kind of old and set in my ways. So I don't know. So do you use it? Nice. So sell it to me. So what is it about D&D Beyond that is so great that you and your players like it? Assuming you also like it. And I'm not like trying to argue. I'm just curious what it is about it that you find so valuable. Maybe it'll help me look at it with better eyes. So yeah, auto updating character sheets, definitely cool. I can see how that would be a good time. And in fact, I'm running a game with my kids, and they just went to level 3, and I had to go through and do all that for them and help them pick out spells. So that probably would have been a lot easier on that D&D Beyond for sure. Okay, so heading back to the peninsula. Should be able to get to level 10 pretty quickly. I'm not that far away. And then I'm going to head back to Elftown, finish upgrading, and then head back up here and get that last level back. Nope, not what I want. Run, 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 run. Yeah, those Tyros are pretty ridiculous. I think they have something like 800 hit points. I don't know, something stupid like that. And they're really hard to hit, and they only give like 1 gold. They're very much not worth the effort, at least not right now. So this is a fight that could be very easy. If Loki goes first or really early, then it will pretty much wipe them out. If more than a couple of the Frostwolves go, they're going to kill me. Yep, and I'm dead. So that is really cool that if everybody can share the books, if one person has them, that is very beneficial. Okay, so this is another fight that should go. God, things have not been going my way, but should go my way pretty good here. Man. There we go. There we go. One more. Got it. All right. That was good. Okay. I'll take it. All right. Let's try one more. Should get us to level 10. Not what I was hoping for, but we'll give it a shot. See what happens. Again, I don't understand the algorithm. There's no reason for both giants to attack my fourth character. Maybe they know how powerful he really is. And again, it is it's common D&D tactics to attack the wizard first, but my understanding is the game is on an algorithm, and that's not exactly how it's supposed to work. All right, so can I take this goober out before he attacks Loki one more time? Yes, I can. No, I was not the one. That is Tom. He was here yesterday. Beskar Tom. He's in our Discord and on Twitter as Beskar Tom. He's the one that ran that game. He's currently running Ghosts of Saltmarsh. All right, so I could probably actually survive another fight, particularly after leveling, but I'm not going to risk it. Excuse me, sorry. Just because. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and unequip my black belt's weapon because I think he's at the point now where he's better without it. So I don't have any resources specifically for that. I did do an episode. It's in our podcast feed. I think it's one of the faculty meetings, early one, called Cityscapes, but it's like CITY and then in parentheses scapes or something along those lines, where we talked about running adventures in just cities and some of the things about them I like, and my guest had some opinions on it as well. So it's not like something you can read, but I do really like running urban adventures. It's one of my favorite things to do. Rather than send my characters out into like the wilderness and into dungeons, I like sending them into warehouses and noble houses and crypts and graveyards, and then maybe like labyrinths below the city. Sharn in Eberron is one of my favorite settings. Excuse me. And I did back the I think it's Ptolus or Ptolus, however you say that, Kickstarter from Monte Cook Games, which is a huge urban setting, campaign setting for D&D. Well, for Cypher or D&D, I guess in this case. Yeah, I'll try to look it up. You joined the Discord, right? I thought I saw you jump on the other day. I'll try to post it there. But if you just search faculty meetings, I think it's Cityscapes, or if you go to the website, I don't know, again, you may just go through the podcast feeds. There's like a menu where you can select all podcasts and then you can select just faculty meetings. They're all there in like reverse chronological order. So the most recent one's at top, and you can just sort of like look at them very quickly and you should be able to pull that one out. I'm going to say it's probably in the between 90 and 110 range, but that's just kind of a guess. Nice. So occasionally I'll see the like number of viewers change. I'll go up like to 3 and then go back to 2 really quickly. 103, yes. Um, it always makes me wonder like what it is, like why someone jumps in, like what it is they see immediately that they're like, no, this isn't for me. Like, should I be offended by that? Okay. Don't know if there's any. No, there's no other 3rd level spells I care about for my Dark Wizard. Excellent. All right, let's go get our armor upgraded. Okay, so I know I want the iron armor for my fighter, and I want the copper bracelet for my 2 wizards. And I want a wooden helmet for my fighter. And then I want caps for, I think I did that wrong, but it should be fine. And I want a shield. Okay. I think I got everything I needed, just not necessarily in the right places. So, perfect. Yep. 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 Nope, that is not what I wanted to do. This menu's not working very well. Okay, so, okay. I want to get this. There. Perfect. And I need to get this there. Okay. Now I think I got it right. So I can get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Perfect. All right. Now we go get some better spells. So I think really the only one I care about for the White Wizard is Pure. So then that way I don't have to worry so much about poison. I have Pure potions, but those can run out. And then for Loki, Ice 2, Confuse is always fun. Alrighty. Okay, so we should be good and saved, which again, I did all this yesterday, so I don't know what happened. I'm really hoping that was a one-time thing. I do remember actually my computer, I had to reboot yesterday and the emulator was still open, but I thought I had saved it, so maybe by shutting it down, that was the problem. Yeah, see, that's that's what a black belt's supposed to do. 3 hits for 85 damage. That's what I wanted to see. So I need 3,300 experience. It's going to take a little while, but so yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy episode 103. It will do something for you. Please let me know if you do listen, if you got any value from it or not. So we got a couple minutes left. I'm gonna try to get back up to the peninsula. Maybe one fight. We'll see how that goes, and then I'll probably call it there. Actually got a lot on my plate today for getting ready for some of the weekend. Got things going on with the family, things I'm getting ready to do, going on a trip. I got that surgery next week. I still got to get like a bag packed and just get that organized and a bunch of little silly stuff. So, and I'm also in hip deep into editing. We did a trial last weekend for the show, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the game. But we had 5 people total, so 4 players and a GM. And usually when I do a trial, I try to limit the players to 3 because it just makes it so much harder. It's like exponentially harder to edit every time you add a track. So it's just taken a long time. But I've got episode 1 done. I sent it out early to all the patrons so they can get an early listen. And then I'm not quite halfway through the second episode. And it's actually 5 episodes, which is also unusual. He played longer than 4 hours. So it's going to be a good time, but a lot of work. All right, come on, Loki. Whew. Okay, fingers crossed. Just take them all out. Don't want anything left over. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. And of course, they're both going to use Frost probably. Can I call it or what? So I went from this being like a great battle for me to being an absolutely atrocious battle for me. But I survived. That's all that matters. All right, let's do one more battle, and then I'll probably call it here for the day. Okay. Fingers crossed. Loki, go first. Nope. Loki? Nope. Loki? Loki? Nope. Loki? Nope. Loki? Nope. Loki? Yes. Yeah, that was bad luck. But none of them tried to use their frost power, so that was actually lucky. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably about as good as I could have hoped for, to be honest with you. Now, hopefully it doesn't go first. Whew, nice. Wanda, come in strong. All right. So yeah, that was a good wrap up. 2 big fights in a row. Got through both of them. So let's use our tent. Save. Yes, I want to save. And I'm actually going to go ahead and exit this time. Hopefully that'll keep me from losing all my progress. So, the Foxblade, thank you again, as always, for hanging out with me for a little while. Best of luck on your character creation. I hope it goes well and you got some awesome things to work with. And I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.